Hello, all of you string picking guys and gals out there. Welcome back to Obscene Studios, a place where every now and again we have to eat crow. Oh, and by the way, if you like what you see here, then hit the like button, subscribe, do all that crazy stuff that every YouTuber tells you to do. I'm a nice guy. I mean, really, I think so. Most people tell me so. Well, there's my wife. But yeah, do that. Hello, everyone. I hope that your day is going extremely well. As you could probably tell by the thumbnail of this video and the title, it's time for me to eat some crow. I've been guilty of in the past of always going on my first impressions. And that's not always a good thing, albeit it has not failed me as often as you think. Most of the time, the first impressions are the best. But this time, I think that I'm just going to have to bite the bullet. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, a little over a month ago, maybe, I done a review on the Lekato Cubebaby multi-effects unit. I didn't like it. I absolutely did not like it. And the problem with that is I didn't give it much of a chance. I didn't, let's just say I didn't give it enough time. I should have played this thoroughly before I done a video on it, but at the time I wasn't 2 weeks ahead on videos. I was looking to do something quick to get it up, and this happened to be the scapegoat. So I realized after playing this thing for the last month or so, I put it up. I set it right over here on its box, just to the side of my bench. And every time I was facing the bench, I would look over at it and I would think, maybe I could adjust the gain to take that noise out. You know, that would fit on my analog board with just one strip of Velcro across the back, and I could use it there. Or, you know, it was one thing after another. I just kept looking at it and kept looking at it. Earlier today, I broke it out and I plugged it in and I give it a thorough in-depth, just looking through all of the effects, everything that it does. Even went to where one of my biggest problems was all the noise on the high gain. And I'm a high gain guy, especially when it comes to playing like leads or, you know, blistering rhythms. You know, if you guys don't know, I'm kind of a metalhead. But I went to that and I started dialing around with the IR cabs and this and that. And I eliminated a lot of the noise and still got that tone that I was looking for. So I'm revisiting this. I know that you guys have, those that are subscribers have been here, that have seen this video. I wouldn't have give this a second thought, but I had a couple of comments on the original video of this that got me to thinking. I think Cal B and Rocco the Cat, shout out to you, brother, had made a comment about a friend of his got one that absolutely loved it. Someone else said they got one and they absolutely loved it. That it was a great thing to use if you wanted to be quiet, if you lived in an area to where you couldn't get above a certain noise level and this and that. and everything. And so I thought, you know what, today's the day I'm going to plug it up. The last time I went through the interface and I put a noise gate on it because of the noise. This time we're going to do it raw as raw can be. We're just going to run through this thing straight into my Carbon amplifier. I'm going to put you guys close to my Carbon. That way you can hear exactly what this sounds like in the room through the iPhone mic, as opposed to having to put it through an interface, adjust EQs and stuff like that. Because this morning I was kind of jamming out with this thing for a little while. I'm still not crazy about the size. That's still kind of a, but it's not all bad because, like I said, a strip of Velcro on the back and I can stick it to that board over there and it doesn't take up much room. So, I mean, that's not really a bad thing. That's something that I can work with. The only con that I have now, opposed to the other video that I had, is that the app doesn't work to download other hours that people have created. So that's the only drawback. But I found a lot of pros today just playing this through my amp. And I should have given it that shot the last time that I done a video, but I didn't. So this time, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go run through the presets that I created, and we're going to listen to it through my Carbon X100B. And we are going to kind of revisit this thing and give it another chance, which I have already. But I just want to thank those that have commented on the last video. I really appreciate that, because if it had not been for that, then I would not have seen the error of my ways. I am so bad about not giving. I go off first impressions and I just stick with those first impressions, and then before you know it, you've got everybody in the world. Well, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, And then at first, I was kind of like, well, whatever. I know what I like. Well, that wasn't the case here. A lot of good points were brought up that I didn't think about. The people that could actually benefit from this. It was something that opened my eyes and got me to thinking maybe I should go back through and play it again. Now, I will say this. A lot of you are probably thinking, oh, he's running out of videos. He's running out of videos. No. Actually, this is something I wanted to do because I felt like I owed it to everybody out there that owns one of these, and those that are looking for budget equipment that can't afford to go out and buy, interfaces and the stuff that I've accumulated over time in here. I do have videos coming up. I'm going to be saying goodbye to my Headrush MX5. So look for in the future, there's going to be a whole series of videos coming out. I just bought the Headrush Flex Prime. It's been out for about 6 months, and I've been inside my head again thinking, I like the MX5. I'm not going to the Prime. I'm just going to stay with the MX5 and just be done with it. I love the tones that I get out of it. And I do, there's no cons at all to that processor. But however, the Prime offers so much. I've looked at review after review. So we're going to be doing videos on that. I've got some other videos coming up as well for you guys to see. But today I wanted to get this out of the way because I've spent the whole morning jamming on this thing, and I just need to eat crow. So hang on just a second. Let me get you guys over here on the bench, and that way we can go through this thing together and play it through my Carbon and let you guys listen to it and give you guys a more thorough review of this product. Okay, guys. Before we get started with this, I want you to know that Lekato did not reach out. I've not been paid to redo this review or anything. All thoughts and opinions are mine, all mine. I've just, like I said, totally dropped the ball on the last review. I didn't give this thing a fair shake, and that's why we're back and we're doing this. Just so you guys know that we are running from my Spear Telly right into the Cubebaby out. Let me get you around here so you can see. Right out to the carbon. You can see the little red light over there. This is just no other effects, no, just whatever's on this one. Let me turn up the volume just a little. Now I've got the first one set as a clean, and it's got reverb, and I've got some modulation in it, and also got the tone adjusted down here. That's the reason why these lights are on. Usually if the lights ain't on, that I'm not using any effects from that end. That's bridge, and this bridge pickup is hot. It's right at I think 16.5K, middle position. Good clean sound. Now after I got into it and started messing with the IRs and all the effects and stuff, that's when I really started to get my mind changed on this rig. Let's go to, I've got the middle position is a crunch. Now, what I had done was I had accidentally saved the third position to the middle position. So if we go into the editor, which you push these two, and turn that off. This was the crunch that I had. So anyway, that was the crunch, but I had saved the other one over. So let's get out of edit mode and let's go to, this one has a little delay on it. The only difference between it and the middle position that I had saved was I had added delay to this, and in the process had accidentally, before I added delay, saved it to the middle position. which really doesn't matter to me because I can go back in there and redo that. That is the thing about this, is it's fairly simple just to operate without the app. And the app is kind of, I'm a little apprehensive that the app doesn't work, but they made it somewhat relatively easy to do just from the knobs here, and everything is pretty much self-explanatory. Turn the volume up just a little. If you'll notice, there's nowhere near the amount of noise that there was in the last video because I dialed the gain back a little, used a different IR, and then just stayed away from the high gain amp on this side. And if you want the high gain amp, which this to me, that's high gain to me, but if you want higher gain than that, you always have the option of using a noise gate. As I said before, everything is kind of pretty much self-explanatory. You know what you can do with the buttons right here, just from the simple instructions right here. You can look here and see what each one of these does. It has a list of, on the back, of the effects that it has, and the chain right here and what everything does there. So not a bad unit, and that's why I wanted to eat crow and just get this out of the way so you guys would know that I did give it a fair shake and it did change my mind. As a YouTuber, ladies and gentlemen, I'm learning a lot as I go. I'm learning that the ways, I don't want to be that old guy that's stuck in his ways. You know, I'm always wanting to learn. As a YouTuber, I've been taught that everything needs a fair shake. Everything needs looked at more through a magnifying glass than just a glance at it from a distance. I was taught that with this, it just kind of bugged me. It really bugged me that I played it what little time that I did, and I just set it over here, and I was like, I'm just done with that. I don't want to mess with it no more. That was $40 gone to waste, and really it's not. It's not. I have to look at it through a perspective. You have to understand, if you spend your life chasing tone and you're constantly looking for that rich, just money in the bank tone, and you come across all these products and you're picking out the good and the bad and you're throwing away the ugly, something like this will disappoint you. And that's my problem. I'm playing through a 1983 Carbon X100B half stack. I'm pushing it with a modeler that costs $400. And a pedal board over here that I've used with that amp before. I've played this through my smaller amps. Same difference. There's really, it just depends on the equipment that you have. Where I went wrong was just putting this through the interface without listening to it in the room, listening to it through that. And I think that that was the problem. That was why I was disappointed, because this has so much. It has, you know, for this little thing, I mean, and I think I said in the other video, back in my day when we bought pedals, they brought them in on a tractor trailer because everything was big back then to house this kind of technology. And it's just amazing. It's IRs, reverb, delay. You got modulation which is chorus and phaser, and there's a tuner built into it. I mean, you know, all in this little thing right here. It's just amazing to me that they can do that. And I guess that was probably the reason why I just did not give it a fair shake right off the bat. That was the reason why I decided that that thing was just garbage. So I goofed up. I did. I played it for the better part of this morning. I just jammed through it. Nothing but it and the Carbon. My final thought was, I've got to do another video. I have to do another video on that pedal. Now, I will say this. I bought their Lekato drum pedal, and I don't like it. I have given that thing a fair shake, 4 or 5 different chances, because I really wanted like a little drum pedal, you know, and it's goofing up, you know. But the thing about it is I could have sent that back ahead of time and got another one. I get a 3-minute loop of rhythms, and then it starts overlaying 2 different kinds of drum sets on each other, and it sounds crazy. Does Lekato make bad products altogether? No. Every product that you buy, I guarantee you the manufacturer has put out at least one product that has failed. I thought that because of the drum pedal, that one right there, same difference. So, for those of you that watched that video, I know I'm not getting a lot of views. By the way, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But for those of you that watched that video and it steered you away from buying the Cubebaby, my apologies. I would like to say that give it a shot. I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised. Save all that expensive stuff for later if you're a beginning guitarist. Go with something like that. Get those good tones out of it. Play with it. Learn to mess around with different effects and stuff and get different sounds out of it. I'm telling you, I was definitely a thumbs down on that, and now I'm a thumbs up. I think it's a pretty good product. But anyway, guys, that's what I've got for today. Like I said, look forward to the Headrush Flex Prime coming in. I've got some other things in the studio that I'm doing. More videos coming up. And we are going to dive into the Flex Prime. We're going to do overall tones that it has, the things that you can do with it. I'm going to make a whole series out of just that pedal. I'm excited to get that pedal. It's going to be awesome. So anyway, as I always say, I hope that you and yours have the most blessed day ever. And I pray that God be with you all. Later.